I'm Kev.
And I'm Steve.
And we're from the internet.
Want to help us spread the We're From the Internet word? Leaving us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes and Stitcher would give us a nice little boost in the search results and help new listeners find us.
If you guys didn't need sleep at night, what time would you prefer to sleep at?
That's if we didn't sleep at night, when would you rather sleep?
Yeah, I suppose if you could sleep whenever you want, which I haven't checked the sleep rule book, but I'm pretty sure that is something you're allowed to do anyway. You can sleep whenever you want, can't you?
No, society gets in the way of that option. I always thought if I was like, I woke up one day and they're like, the Prime Minister's just quit, we need something to fill in, do you mind? First thing I'd do is set a 24-hour clock up. I know there is one already.
Yeah,
but
that's a setting on your phone, in fact.
I'd make people adhere to it.
What do you mean adhere to it?
So I'd want everything open 24 hours a day, all the time.
But all the rubbish.
time.
Why would it need to be open at 4 in the morning? Who's going to be there at 4 in the morning?
Well, people would be if it was there.
People should be asleep. No, they shouldn't be asleep.
No, they shouldn't. The point is, right, if you could open everything 24 hours a day, then there'd be no unemployment, because you'd need twice as many people to run everything.
But people wouldn't use it. Like,
people would have the choice.
Self-employed people at the moment have the option to do that, and they choose not to, because no one's going to spend money at 4 in the morning.
I don't want to work in like a warehouse or a factory overnight. I want to have an office job. Or, I want the job I have now. If I could have this job all night and make my calls and do my other bits and bobs, and there'd be someone else there to answer the calls, and not be like, what? It's 4 in the morning. Why are you ringing me at home? It should happen. We live in a world where there's no reason for that not to be possible. Because then I could sleep in a day like I've always wanted to.
But why do you want to? Medically, you should sleep when it's dark.
No, not medically. That's more of a hunter-prey type thing. You go to sleep in the dark, somewhere safe.
You get better quality of sleep, you're better rested in complete darkness. You should be sleeping at night.
I can make my bedroom dark, though. We have the technology for that.
But once a day, the whole world goes dark. You can just sleep then. You don't need to buy fancy curtains and an eye mask.
My rhythm works in, like, I work better at like 11 o'clock at night, that sort of thing. If I was writing again,
which you should be, by the way.
Yeah. I tried getting up at 5 a.m. to do it, and I'm just a vegetable. Whereas if I start writing at 10:30 at night, I'm a machine.
That's just weird. You're wired wrong.
I am wired wrong.
You're not wired for society.
But the world should cater for people like me.
The world should bend to your will.
No, 'cause it's just silly. I mean, as I say, there's so many people unemployed, they could all just work at night. Or people who want to work at night would shift to that, leaving jobs for people in the day. If services, like if doctors work, if there was doctor surgeries open all night, then I'd be able to get an appointment
Then
quickly.
No one would want to become a doctor. So
no one would have to do it.
We'd run out of doctors.
You just say to people,
but for your system to work, people would have to do it, because it must be a tiny proportion of people who are unable to function in normal society, such as yourself, and I can't imagine anyone wanting it. I wouldn't want to go to the doctors in the middle of the night.
People do work night shifts as doctors already, don't they?
Yeah, in hospitals.
Yeah, well, they could open GP practices or something now.
Yeah, but the reason people become GPs is because they don't want the antisocial hours that you get working in a hospital. You get...
Well, we'd leave it up to their choice instead of just putting laws in place to stop it. We'd just make the law, you can't force anyone to do it.
I'm pretty sure that's how it is now. What you're proposing is things just carry on as they are.
No, I don't think it's up to choice. You have to have licences to be open 24 hours, don't you?
I don't think you do.
I
think pubs have to, but...
Shops can't.
Yeah, of course they can.
Well, I know Tesco's and Asda do. You have to buy a licence to be 24
Only
hours.
to sell alcohol and stuff out of hours.
Asda and whatnot have to buy a licence to be open 24 hours.
Nonsense. They can just be open.
And they're not allowed to be open all night on a Sunday, are they?
Yeah, that's just Sunday trading.
And they should get rid of that law.
That's a hangover from religion.
Yeah, get rid of that law.
But if I were to open up a corner shop now and employ a few people, I could stay open all the time if I wanted to. I wouldn't need any rules to tell me what time to close. The one up here is open till 10 o'clock at night on Christmas Day. No one's telling them not to.
But if the whole world worked on, or the whole country, worked on that rule, and we made it quite clear that people aren't stuck with the time they've been bred into, then I'm pretty sure eventually it would start spreading out and becoming economical and a good idea. Because it just, it would double productivity, it would double But halve unemployment at least, or get rid of unemployment.
But I'd start missing out on stuff. What if they started putting football matches on in the middle of the night? That's madness.
They wouldn't do that. They'd do it at the optimum time, whatever that was.
In that case, then all the people who are living on sheepdog time, they miss out on football, and then they can't watch live football because it's happening while they're in bed.
Not necessarily. They'd just choose a time that suits them, wouldn't they? I'd probably stay up late that day or get up early that day and watch the football at 3 in the afternoon.
And mess up your schedule completely.
Well, it's a Saturday, isn't it? I could watch the football and then go back to bed until my normal 6 o'clock wake up and have dinner for breakfast again.
You're a bizarre human being.
I just don't feel the need. I feel like a bit of an alien, actually, that I've come down and thought, why is everybody living on this weird 12-hour schedule that... or it's not
because
hours, is it?
It's easier to fall asleep. Your brain starts to shut down as soon as it starts to get dark.
Mine doesn't, though.
The darkness sparks the production of melatonin. The melatonin makes you start to feel sleepy. You go to sleep. You're properly rested because it's completely dark. You naturally start to wake up when the room starts to get light again. That's why people get seasonal affective disorder, because they're not woken up by sunlight. That's why you get those light boxes that you have in your room, so that in the winter, when you're trying to wake up before the sun comes up, which people find really difficult because you're not supposed to do that, it can wake you up with some sun rising. That's how the human brain is wired. You're broken.
So yeah, whenever I'm out in the sun, I get really tired. I went out the other day, walked around the field and the farm and stuff, and...
What farm were you walking around? What was this a dream? What world are you living in?
I was in Billericay.
There are no farms in Essex. It's just motorways.
There's loads of fields in Essex. It's ridiculous. They should build cinemas on them all.
Why were you walking around a farm?
Well, I didn't go into the farm bit because it was like 10 quid a person, so we got a train that went round the outside of it and saw it all from afar.
I feel like you're only giving me half the information here.
We went to a boot sale, and then there was like this craft place.
This sounds like a different story now.
And there was a farm on it, but it was too expensive to go in, and then there was a little train that went round the farm that you could pay £1 to go on, so we just did that. Saw all the animals, realised it was nowhere near worth 10 quid an adult. And it would cost us like 80 quid to go in this place that basically had goats and sheep. And a load of cardboard animals.
I feel like I'm having a phone conversation where every other word is cutting out, and I can't follow. You went to a car boot sale.
Mm-hmm.
But didn't want to pay the £10 to go on the train to see the animals.
There was a farm next to the car boot sale.
Right.
That you could pay like...
You spend a lot of time at car boot sales.
Well, no, it was just there was nothing better to do.
Could have stayed at home.
We were in Essex.
Could have stayed at someone else's home. Could have gone for a Frank and Benny's breakfast.
We should do that. My parents need to start taking us there instead of buying Chinese at night when it's unhealthy to eat.
Exactly. There you go. That can be your suggestion.
I will make that suggestion.
And then you didn't want to see the goats?
Because it was like, it cost our group about 90 quid to go in there. So we spent £5 on this little train.
Your music group. You were there on tour.
We were.
Interesting. Start sleeping at night, you weirdo. It's wrecking you.
Well, I do sleep at night at the moment, and it is wrecking me. I need to be able to have a sleep in the day and then work all night, but no one will answer the phones.
Want to support the show? Do all your Amazon shopping through we'refromtheinternet.com/Amazon, and it doesn't cost you anything extra, but we get a little kickback on everything you buy.